It's a test model of the car of tomorrow, a car that drives itself.
Everybody would like to know why self-driving is taking so long, including the people that are developing it themselves. And short answer is nobody really knows, otherwise they would be just fixing that problem.
12 years ago, Google kicked off a digital gold rush when it had announced that it had developed a self-driving car. The Google driverless car led to a spin-off called Waymo, spurred tens of billions of dollars in investment by companies like GM, Apple, Tesla, and Uber, and sent futurists fantasizing about a world without steering wheels, driver's licenses, or traffic fatalities. And at the center of all this was this man.
My name is Anthony Lewandowski. I'm the CEO of Pronto and Pollen. Pronto is an autonomous technology company, and Pollen is building the next generation mobile network. We build technology for making vehicles that drive themselves, starting with the off-road market. And so we do quarries and mines and places that are not accessible to the public. Ever since I've been a little kid, I've loved playing with Legos, and through college that naturally grew into robotics. I loved building these vehicles that drive on their own. There's something really magical about them.
Lewandowski's early career started when he created and sold Prebot, a modified Toyota Prius, which he sold to Google. After departing Google, he worked for Uber's driverless car division. This switch caused controversy. Google sued Uber, and the government charged him with trade secrets theft. He pled guilty, but he was pardoned on the last day of the Trump presidency. Now he's back, but with a decidedly scaled-down vision for self-driving cars.
When we were starting Pronto, our first product is autonomous haulage, which is the trucks that move material to mine from the pits to the processing plants. Our next product is driver assist systems for semi-trucks, where we're not there to replace the driver, but we're there to make their lives easier and safer. So one of the main things we wanted to do was understanding how well we could drive long distances on the highway. And when we did the actual attempts, it took us 4 tries. That's amazing, but it's also really bad, because if you died 3 times out of 4 times you were trying to drive across the country, that's clearly not sufficient enough to do it without a person. But one of the things I would say there that was interesting is on every single one of our attempts, we saw at least one semi-truck rolled over on the side of the road. So it kind of reinforced the need for the assistive technology, right? So these are probably individuals that were really tired, and the technology that we're making, we think, is going to be able to greatly alleviate those kinds of accidents. Where we're here today is the Mark West Quarry. It's one of the sites where we've deployed our Pronto autonomous technology doing autonomous haulage. Autonomous haulage, that basically means robot mining trucks that go from the pits where the materials being extracted to the processing plant and repeat all day long. We have our system installed on 2 trucks at the location here, where the trucks are driving completely autonomously with nobody inside them and nobody remote controlling them. And that's very different from an assistive technology to help the truck driver. On the trucks operating at the quarry here, we have a set of cameras, GPS, radios, that together help the truck see what's around the vehicle. The operator presses a button, the truck then backs up and goes to the hopper and dumps the material into the crusher, and then it comes back and redoes that operation all day long. This is kind of like a double black diamond, quarry in terms of the tightness for it and how steep the inclines are, and you only have one lane for the haul.
Humans were driving this route before, right? I mean, this is...
Correct, yeah. They were doing it a little bit differently, right? They would have to turn around here, and they'd have to do a little, Austin Powers move at the top to turn around. So we can do faster cycles by going forward and backwards.
What's the hardest part of this? I mean, just from a technological standpoint.
Getting it to be reliable,
yeah.
Right? So you can always do something, and then it's cool, it worked once, but then when you try to make it work, 10,000 out of 10,000 times, there's always new things that you didn't expect.
Whereas Google and GM's crews are still focused on building so-called robo-taxis, that is, vehicles that operate without any oversight, Lewandowski says that true self-driving cars are still years, if not decades away. So he's focused on applications in the here and now. Lewandowski still believes that self-driving cars and that wonderful world he once promised will come. He's just not sure when, and he doesn't think anyone knows.
Self-driving is defined as the occupant is not responsible for the movement of the vehicle, and therefore they could be without a driver's license and not knowing how to drive the vehicle. I'm a firm believer in that. I believe they will happen. I think it's going to be transformational. It's $1 trillion a year business that everybody's chasing. The gold standard is going to be a car that can pick anything up anywhere to touch a button on your phone. The technology's gotten a lot better, but it hasn't improved far enough to be able to do what we all wanted to do. In terms of looking at why we were having all the problems that we were having in the future of what's happening around you on the road is really the part that the computers aren't good at. I see that the only metric that determines when an autonomous vehicle is ready is safety. It doesn't matter how much they cost, it doesn't matter how bulky they are, how ugly they are. The only metric is defined is safety. Like, are they safer than a person?